Hi, this is Mike Holmes at ReachKeep.com, and welcome to 5 Minutes to Better Sundays Easter Challenge or Easter tip number 2. Excited about this one. Hey, I'm standing here in the kitchen, and what could be more of a challenge for us in preparation and getting ready for something than a kitchen? You know, we're talking about how to build it now and use it later, and this is really tip number 2. During the Easter time, you need to learn to do some things and prepare and build your church up, things that you'll use later. Aren't you glad that your wife learned how to cook well and learned how to run all these microwaves and all that kind of stuff? Folks, it's the idea of being ahead of schedule, learning how to do something, building it so that later on you'll be able to use it. You know, our churches grow by spurts. They push out in big things. You'll get a family or two this Easter, and that'll be exciting. Maybe 4 or 5 families, maybe 1 or 2, but they come in spurts. And we need to be prepared for those spurts. And so what we do now, these 6 or 8 weeks before Easter, is we begin to prepare and make some of our things better. We all know the value of preparation. I'm sure out in your vehicle, you've got a jack and a spare tire out there. I'm sure that you've been through some education that you worked on and learned, and then you've used it now at a later time. That's the same thing with the management side of a church. We want to build some things, and Easter is the perfect time to rally your folks, to motivate yourself and your staff to step forward in some new areas. Let me give you 3 different areas that are really some obvious ones, and we've talked about this one very many times, but soup up or prep your nursery. Make sure your nursery is ready. If we're going to reach young families, we're going to have moms and dads come. First thing they're going to do before they get to your message, hear your music, hear your philosophy, hear your core values, they're going to look in your nursery. And if it's, dirty or has sharp things or spiders running up and down the walls, probably they're not coming back. This season, prep that nursery so that later that you can use it. Because when you start to attract young families, you'll end up with several people in that nursery, and it will make a difference how sharp your nursery is. We all want great doctrine, great preaching, but this is a time to build it for later and to focus on your nursery. Take these next 6 or 8 weeks and work on, painting, refreshing, and talking to your teachers. Another area is what we would call our guest system, or this is the idea of feedback or communication with our guests. And they come, and then you send them a thank you letter, that kind of thing. They come and you hand them a visitor's packet and a ballpoint pen. There are many things. Take time now before it gets busy, before you have all these guests, and get ready for that. And draft your letter thanking them for coming to the Easter program, and thank you for coming to the kids program that you had, or whatever it was. And think about that. Send them maybe an email. Figure out how to get them an email, and send them some appropriate links on email that they might be able to research and learn more about your church or some spiritual thing on parenting. Even better, think about that now. Build it now, because what you build now, you'll be able to use for months and years to come. We created years ago, when we had our very first big Easter, we created a guest system for responding with emails and gift cards and different things that we do, thank you letters, and we still use that to this day. That's what Easter does for you. It supercharges you and gets you to build something now. Let me give one other, and this would be your volunteer system. This is the idea of getting people to work and being involved with you. Not only communicating them and recruiting them, but the idea of how you work together with different things. Because we know that we don't want to be the 5% that does 95% of the work. We need to get people involved, and Easter is a time where you can really boost that up and get some more people involved. For example, for years we have done some type of a children's program with Easter eggs and some of that after church, and kind of had a fun time. You as the pastor can't run that. You can't set that up. You can't do any of that if you do it right after church. I have found that I can enlist new people and get them involved in doing stuff, following instructions, setting things out, being the safety people, making sure the parameters are clear at the park where we do it, and all that. And I get a bunch of new people trained at Easter. And you know what I'm going to do with those people the rest of the year? Let them set? No, we're going to put them to work. Vacation Bible schools and crowd control for other things, and using using them for cleaning and setup, because I've created a relationship. I've created this dynamic where now we talk and they respond. I know who follows directions, who doesn't, who needs a little bit more admonishing, who needs a little bit clearer direction, who I can really turn things over to. I'm building it now, and I'm going to use it later. And so, folks, this is Easter tip number 2. The idea of Easter as a big day and the resurrection. We're going to get to that, and that's very, very exciting. I've got some more Easter tips that you'll be able to follow along on YouTube here and catch some of these. But we want to make sure that we take a look at Easter as a time of building programs and systems in our church that are going to help us later on. We're not dismissing any doctrine or any of those things, the importance of preaching. We're just talking about the people management side, and you can build it now and use it later. Take Easter this year to make just a huge step forward in building your church and helping it to be what it needs to be for your community. If you'd like to learn more, we have some a little what we call cheat sheet. It has 6 different tips, different tips to help you do your Easter the very best it can be. You'll be able to use a couple of these. Some of them you're going to go, I'll never use that. But these will be some great things that you can use to help your Easter be better. You can follow the link below or go to reachkeep.com, and we will have it posted where you can sign up and get a download of this PDF cheat sheet that has the 6 different tips with some photos and some things of how we've done some different things in the management side of our church. So for now, this is Mike at reachkeep.com, 5 minutes to better Sundays, and you work on building it now so that you can use it in the future.